Welcome everybody. I am Hiyori, owner of the Inn on the Silver Mountain, and today we have a very special event. I don't do special events too often, but as you saw recently, I have joined up with Joshiko Productions, and today I am running an Ask Me Anything event where you guys can talk to me and ask me all your questions, anything you want to ask within reason, and I'll answer them. It's also a good way for you guys to get to know me, for those who don't know me, and for those who do know me to find out some new things about me. So yes, 3D, VR, whoa! It's been a long time since I've done a VR stream. It's been an immensely long time. Over a year. Over a year. The last time I did a VR stream, I just walked around VR for a bit. I remember distinctly I dabbed on one of my viewers who's literally half my age. I embarrassed the hell out of him by dabbing on him. I'll never forget that moment. That was a good time. Yes, I even sound 3D. Probably because the VR headset, it should sound a bit different. I sound a little bit different because I'm wearing the VR headset. The microphone quality is different. Yes, the echo in this outdoor room is fantastic. It's fantastic. Let's go here into VR. True. It's been over a year. So, today, rather than doing a traditional VTuber debut, I wanted to do an Ask Me Anything because I figure I've been here 3 years. For me personally, I feel like I want to do something that was as much for my existing audience as it was for newcomers who are just meeting me. I always feel like if I'm doing a debut and I have focus around, it feels a little putting off, right? Because it's not quite for them, it's for someone else. Also, I can't see follows, so thank you for the follows, thank you for the subs. I don't have redeems on today. I don't have anything on like that, no stream loots. So sorry about that. Those who are disappointed. It's the rare serious stream. It's the very serious stream. So, I have gotten so much more movable in this. Yes, I can move. I can move around a lot. I have quite a bit of motion because I have full body tracking. So I have received both a list of questions for those who couldn't make it to stream, and of course I'm here to take your questions. But yes, I'm being serious. Do a flip. I cannot do a flip. I'll basically, if things get too fast or questions, I will ask the mods to put on move fingies. Yes, move my fingies. I move the fingies. They're little. The finger track is not the greatest with the index. You know, it's kind of some are a little more binary, but others are a bit better. So I have a list of pre-prepped questions from people in the community. For those who couldn't make it, as well as, I'm here to take your guys' questions. Bird, I sure can. I can give you the double bird too. The big plan for today is basically I'm going to go through these questions. I'll take your questions in chat. If things get too fast, I will go ahead and have the mod slow down chat and put it on slow mode. Thank you, Asin. But otherwise, welcome everybody. Welcome. You may ask me basically anything you want. If you want to ask about me, you're welcome to. If you want to ask about my ASMR work or take out food, if it's fast food, it's Bojangles. We've been over that many times. You ask me my ASMR work, you ask me my Patreon, my characters, my world, whatever you want to ask about Joshiko if you'd like to. Ask about the others I'm with. Where questions get sent? Yes, you're in the method right now. Welcome to all the new faces in chat, by the way. Welcome. Yes, the method of sharing questions. You know what? Every time I've tried to use Marshmallow or Curious Cat, it's been a fucking mess. It's been a complete mess. So I didn't bother. I took my community. Thank you, Catfish. Equivalent of Bojangles. I don't know. Bojangles is kind of Bojangles. So I figure I want to kind of talk a little bit before about why I chose this format. Top, bottom, left, and right. Never, because I am a complete spaz who's ADHD as hell, and I can't stop moving around. You sound like my grandmother right now, Lilfin. Anyway, let me talk briefly about why I want to use this format instead. I'm not a big fan of the traditional VTuber debut format. I am not the kind of person that can sit here and present, here is my, and this is me, there's nothing wrong if you want to do that yourself. I can't sit here and present a presentation to you. It feels so, for me, inhuman. It doesn't feel good for me. So, as someone who has grown up with the internet, one of the worst feeling parts about the internet for me is that conversations are so calculated, right? They're so calculated. You can sit there in these It's less of like a human conversation, more of a battle of wits, right? So I don't really like that. When you have a conversation with somebody in DMs or in a chat, you can sit there and plan your response out. It's a lot less a human, right? So I didn't want to sit here with some pre-planned, massive product, what's it called? What's it called? I'm brain farting right now. So you know what I mean. I didn't want to sit here with a script, exactly, a script. I didn't want a script here. I didn't want some big, what's it called? PowerPoint presentation. That's not me. I want to talk to you guys as a person. Take your questions, answer them off the cuff. Even with this, I have a thing right here of a document of questions I got in Discord. I vaguely thought about these, but I didn't like sit here and write down answers to the script. Just have a list in front of me. So I do want to read exactly one take is all we do. That's not true. Exactly, you do real battle. Exactly, you do real battle. So, see some Beat Saber gameplay. I would love to do Beat Saber in stream at some point, but that stream is going to be very short if I do because I'm very out of shape. So, as I said, I am Hiyori. I am the owner of the Inn on the Silver Mountain. I have a bunch of lore videos that are in the works. I have my initial ASMR lore videos. If you want to find out more, you can ask me questions, but I'm going to produce more and more videos explaining the full background of my character and what led up to this point. I have notes written down, but I don't have a full presentation. But if you want to listen to what I have so far, there are 2 videos on my ASMR channel I'm working on more. It's be great when it's fully done, because someone can walk in my stream and be like, yo, what's your lore? And be like, well, I have 5 videos about the length of the Lord of the Rings trilogy that you can listen to if you want all my lore. All right? That'll be the absolutely fantastic. Can't wait to drop that ball on people. Anyway, so I have some questions to start with that I got out of Discord. I'd like to answer a few of those, and I'll probably take questions in... Hello? Notepad just bugged out on me. Notepad, please. Let's close the window and reopen it. That is the one issue I'm having with this, is that some of the windows are just bugging out sometimes. It's really annoying. I don't know why they do it. So, yes, Notepad, please. I am such an old head. I just have notepad.exe open. I don't have Notepad++, nothing like that. There's a little notepad here with all the notes in it. Exactly, new little stuff here and there. Available on Audible. It's a 5-part series. Yes, actually, did you know that all my ASMR is on Spotify? So you can get my entire lore on Spotify while you're driving down the road. And not even Notepad too, just original. So I got some questions out of Discord first. I was like, well, I do. Hagtiruo. I got some excellent questions in the Discord that I want to go over first, and then I want to take questions in stream. So I got some great ones too. I got some fantastic ones, whether they're very simple questions about, general interests I have, or Notepad keeps bugging out. Notepad, I swear to God. Notepad, I'm going to destroy you. Notepad, why are you doing this? Let me destroy this window again and try again. I'll figure it out. If I can read one question off Notepad, that'll be great. Yeah, Notepad's not liking the VR. So these are general questions I've gotten about me, about my work stuff, some about Joshiko. I want to read a few of those first. And I'm going to name everybody who... Notepad, please. I swear to God. You know what? We're going to reopen this window again. I'm going to read one question and hope it doesn't bug out. Notepad, please. So, in Discord, Noah Buddy says, when did you realize streaming was something you wanted to do, and how exactly did you start taking your first steps? That is a great question. I want to stream back when we still were on Justin.tv. Notepad versus Oni, who wins right now? Notepad's winning. I want to stream back and come to play. I know, that's 3D. I want to stream back when we still were on Justin.tv, when streaming was in its infancy, but I couldn't. Mostly because I was in my own head. Partially because I lived with my family. That was the big thing that stopped me. I also didn't quite have the tech available to me. It was a lot harder back then to do so. But I knew I wanted to stream and perform on stream and such, whether it's playing games or entertaining in some way. I knew way back then. That was over a decade ago. I couldn't until now, until more recently, when I had the full technology was available to me, the time, and me actually get away from family. Also, I was way more in my head back then. I was way more in my head. I was one of the people that's like, oh my God, I could never be entertaining. Things like that. I was super in my head. I was like, we're all our biggest enemy, right? More than anything else, we get in our own way. So that's why I didn't do it back then. As for how I got started now, I just did it. I picked up the stuff I needed to pick up. I turned on the stream and I got rolling. That's really it. I put that foot forward and went for it. I mean, it's way more. Yeah, Boomerami. Thank you, Twitch Buff, and thank you. It's way more intimidating to start it than actually do it with anything in life, right? Is putting that first foot forward to begin it. Also, the amazing part of this entire time is to answer that question. Actually, Notepad stayed proper, and then it broke. So I'm gonna reopen Notepad again. And I don't know why this application does this, but that is not the window I wanted. I am trying so hard right now to get this window to work. I'm waiting on it to fix itself. Hold on a second. There, questions. And now it's tiny. And now it's the tiniest window. All right. Diary asked me in Discord, do you have any future plans to do a collab on your Patreon? And if so, is it only in your friend group, or would you be open to taking to outside ASMR artists? I'm just gonna close Notepad now. I would like to do Highland Dragon. Yes, I'm always 3D. I'm always 3D. Notepad on and off. And I really don't want to do that because if I take the headset off, I would like to do ASMR collabs in the future. Part of the issue, and then I'm open to people outside my friend group. I'm always open to, but part of the issue I have is, man, it's gonna sound bad on me, but my vision, when it comes to my ASMR stuff, when I write particular scripts, it's difficult to always put a voice to a character, right? It's easy to just put my own voice to a character, but when I think about somebody else voicing my character and portraying them, and it's one thing if I do like a random thing off the cuff, we're just like doing some, not character thing. But if I'm writing a script of two of my characters in my setting and interacting, that's a lot harder, and that's most of what I'd be doing, right? It's a lot of what I do because I write so much like, my stuff is very role-play driven. It's very role-play driven. So bring somebody else on to do that, also because exactly Dragon Blue. I think of myself not just as like a writer, but also kind of like a director in this thing. So am I going to be able to direct somebody else to do what I do? And also not only that, but the way I write scripts, if you ever read one of my scripts, okay, if you go to like a website that has ASMR scripts, you'll see all these notes in them that'll say like, speak this line this way, make this noise here. I don't write that. Why? Because as the director and as the actor at the same time, I don't need to. When I write a line, I'm in my head really like, yeah, I know I'm going to say that. Okay, cool. Or when I get there, if I say it one way, I'm like, not quite how I thought it'd be. Let's do it this way. It's a lot easier when you are, the actor and the director at the same time. So trying to direct one of those two-person ASMRs, I don't know if I could do that right now. I'd have to have someone very in tune with me. And also I do a lot of not safe for work content. So if they're not comfy doing not safe for work, then do I have it be a duo until it's not, right? Hi, Boots. Hi, honey. How are you? Even though it's a special day, I'll still give you a hi, honey. So yes, I'm open to other collabs with other people. That's not an issue. It's just like it's difficult for other reasons. So let's grab my wonderful document again. See if it works this time. It isn't tiny. It's not tiny. Coke the Femboy Cat asked me in Discord, what is your favorite childhood game? Man, that is a hard answer. It's a very good question. I love this one. Hi, Sunspot. Also, sorry for those I didn't say hi to. A lot of names in chat. It's a great question and also very complex. So, yeah, it's quite the name. Man, it's so hard to answer this because I can sit here and I can be like, oh yeah, that's easy. It's same for the night. It's played it last night. No, I can't just say that because it's going to depend on the era and, what part of childhood, right? Because if we consider all of like under 18 be childhood, I think my actual answer to this is something unexpected. There's actually two, and I'm going to give you two answers. The first answer is Roller Coaster Tycoon, because not only did I put tons of hours in that game and loved it, I played that with Mom extensively. I played so much Roller Coaster Tycoon with Mom. You have no idea. That was our game. The original one. RCT, that game is so good. Mom was so mortified when I made all the death coasters that just sent people off into oblivion. Oh, she's just so mortified and forget. She was like, so that game was bought for her. It wasn't bought for me. we're getting mom into video games, and she was like, roller coasters, she was like, roller coasters are so cool, but I can't ride them, so I want to make them. And then Dad bought her RCT, and we got it working on, I think it was Windows 98 at the time, I think, and I'll never forget this. These are wonderful. This is my turn, the roller coaster. Yes, the Death Coasters were amazing. RCT is that game's iconic for me. There are a lot of amazing tycoon games back in the days. Otherwise, my other answer is a little different. It's a little different because some games like my favorite, like, oh yeah, I'll play Symphony Night over and over and over again. I'll play Super Mario RPG a million times over. Sure. The other part of the answer would be what is influential to me, what had the most impact on me, and that, my moving death, yes, that answer is different because there was an amazing era of gaming at the turn of the millennium, in the end of the 90s and early 2000s, and that turn of millennium is what really like set my soul on fire with creativity and such. We had Neverwinter Nights, Warcraft 3, StarCraft 1, Half-Life 1, all the modding scenes, all the custom stuff people made for those games. That is like so formative to me. It's so formative to me. That was all the stuff people made. I think that right there, seeing that when I was very young, is what got me into like all the like art and such, all the stuff that people made themselves. Just one random person in a basement making things. You're so back then. No. I think those are another like relevant answer here. So let me try to fix this window again, because it broke on me again. I'm not even like touching it. It's just kind of there. And I have to spawn it every single time. I don't know why it does this. Other windows break too, except for my chat window. It doesn't break. And now it's tiny again. Why are you like this? I couldn't have tested this, sadly, to find this out. Pride said to me in Discord, what are some things you like to see more of in the streaming industry? It's actually one question I thought about, because this is a question that's hard to answer. And my answer is transparency. Transparency. Thank you. That was loud. Thank you for the gift, Sebro. God, that was a very loud redeem. Transparency. I would like to see more transparency, whether it's from that's actually loud. I don't have a way to turn that down, unfortunately, at this point. I don't know. I might have to actually turn the source off. It might stop the sound. I don't know. Transparency, whether it's from the creators themselves, interacting with each other, whether it's from companies, at least more transparency. There's so much skullduggery going on behind the scenes. Don't worry, I had to say, yeah, it was not very good. There's so much skullduggery going on behind the scenes that's like absolutely awful. It's absolutely awful. I wish you could see more into what people's actual intents are, how they run their business, what kind of like stuff is out there. I'd like more truth, not just from, streamer space, but just in general, whether it's the whole media space is all. It's difficult. That's the hardest part of all this stuff, is the lack of transparency. That's why I try my best, not perfect, I try to be somewhat relatively transparent, even when it gets me in trouble sometimes. I try not to hold back, for better or for worse, That's my answer to that. So, I had another question. Gearwork in Discord said, what is your favorite comfort food? And as a southern bitch, my favorite comfort food is macaroni and cheese. Easy personal question. I love these ones. Mac and cheese all day long. You make mac and cheese so many different ways. God, every place, anytime I go to a new restaurant or to a fast food place, whatever it is, if they have mac and cheese, I will buy it. Thank you for the resub queen. I will buy it every single time it's a new place, because I want to know if your mac and cheese is good. If your mac and cheese is good, I'll go back every single time. There was a place, I'm actually going to show a place right now. If you're in Georgia, there is Heirloom Barbecue over near Marietta. Please eat there. Their food's insane. Their mac and cheese is god tier. Their french fries, god tier. Everything is, but yeah, it's my comfort, mac and cheese. ASMR's mac and cheese, a more iconic duo. Exactly. How do you think I make my sound effects? I cook a pot of mac and cheese. And then I eat it. It's convenient. I get to make dinner and work at the same time. It's very easy. Oh right, so let's see. Let me get a little faster one. I'll get a faster one. Thanks to this follow. Thanks to follow. All friend is made. Hell yeah. Let's see. Diary again asked me, what is your favorite Gundam so far, and do you have figured it already? So I don't know if Diary meant to say mobile suit, because mobile suits aren't Gundams. Gundams are mobile suits, but not almost as a Gundams. I'm going to answer this question as if it was a mobile suit, not a Gundam, and the answer is the Zagok. And yes, I do. In fact, I'm going to make another Zagok. Another push his glass of nose. Actually, it's the Zagok. It's the Zagok. I have a Zagok. I have a real great Zagok. I'm going to build a master grade Zagok this weekend, in fact. That's my next model, is to build another of Char's Zagok. I bought the Zagok. Z-G-O-K. Oh, thank you, the bits, Kerbis. I'm sorry, there's no bonks. Thank you so much, sweetheart. Thank you. The Zagok. The Zagok. Yes. Exactly. I'm going to build Char's big red Zagok again, but this one's bigger because it's master grade. So it's a 1-1. Zagok. G-O-K. Yes, exactly. Thank you, Diary. Thank you for the Gundam question. Yes, thank you, Death Note. I'm sorry again for the volume on the things. Let's see. Aran said to me, if you could buy any single thing in the world, material, what would it be? No world peace retirement plans. A thing. I thought about this a little bit. The first answer, which is actually obtainable, is there's one thing I regret. Thank you, Omni. There's one thing I regret letting my parents throw out. They even asked me if I want to throw it out or not. And that was my first computer. My first computer was a Color Tandy TRS-80. I let them throw it out, and I regret it every single day. Every single day. I could buy that again. I could buy that and have a functional one. Tandy, why? My parents are like, hey, yo, do you want to keep this? I'm like, no, I have better stuff. And I was a stupid kid. And now, in my adulthood, I realized how stupid I was. I should have kept that motherfucker. I should have kept that thing. There's some other thing I put down. I had my mind for an answer. I can't remember what the hell it was now. It was the Tandy's more important to me. Thank you also, Skips, for giving the elephant a sub. Let's see. I had a longer question here. I had a longer one. Easy in Discord asked me 2 questions, actually. And this one's a streaming question. What do you think is a sane amount of time for someone to stream? Some people go for ridiculous hours per day, which is great for viewers who want more content, but also dries up the content, like leaning back on React content. What would be a healthy amount and be able to grow? Man, this is an opinion question, right? This is, if you've been to my streams, you know I have opinions on this subject. This is one I'm very opinionated about. First of all, I think this question is inherently flawed. I always want to ask questions in chat, but I'm reading the questions I got in advance first. I'm doing those first because those are pre-submitted. First of all, I think this question's flawed because the question makes the mistake of focusing on streaming. And as much as I enjoy streaming, and I generally deeply enjoy streaming in my heart, I love it. But, high school debate flashbacks, yes. I think the problem with this premise is that it focuses too much on streaming. Streaming itself is not the greatest use of time as much as I enjoy doing it. And also, I don't think streaming more hours is better for content for the viewer. It can wear them out. From the day I started, I said to myself, from watching others, thank you the bits, typical comment, from watching others, because I was a fan first and a creator later, I said to myself, what satisfies me when I watch somebody? What feels like too much? What feels like too little? For me, anything under, as our Power of the Family, anything under 3 hours was too little for me. Hi, Mysterious Emblem. Anything over 4 hours, I started getting worn out. If they went like even under 2 hours, I started feeling like, well, I kind of wanted more time with them. So I don't think it's worth streaming excessive hours. Thanks for the follow, can't see your name. I don't think it's worth streaming excessive hours. I think it's a complete waste of time for yourself and for your viewers and for your business as a whole if you're making a business out of it. 3 to 4 hours is my personal ideal. I will go longer sometimes when I'm really into something. And I typically won't ever go shorter, with very, very exceptions. New follower, taxi service. So yeah, I don't think it's you go more than 3 or 4 hours. Like personally, obviously do things to your comfort level and to your audience comfort level. And of course, the way you do things will also dictate your audience, right? That's how that works. What's going on? Hi, Dom. It's the big day. It's the big I am doing an Ask Me Anything / my Joshiko debut. So that's my answer to that first question. The thing's broken again, so I'm gonna have to keep remaking it. Thankfully, we are almost done with these pre-prep questions. I opened OBS again. I don't want this window. We're almost done with these pre-prep questions, so I'll be able to move on to taking the live questions. All right. And it's tiny again. Why does it do this? I don't know if the window's like popping in and out in the back, and that's why it does it. Let's see. Oh, my model broke. That's VR chat for you, baby. That's tracking. Let's see. The other part of Izzy's question, yes, you're gonna see this cage with VR tracking. You can call me Sasha if you want, so I don't care. It's a jump scare, I know. The other part of the question was, at what point does it feel good to transition from working plus streaming into streaming, or vice versa? Streaming is very popular, but what happens after streaming? This is a better asked question, because it does at least. Dragon Blue, please wait. Hold on a second. It at least implies me also than streaming, so I appreciate this question more. For me, it was purely a numbers game for when I felt comfy. I had sat down, I wrote a list of like, here's my bills, here's how much I need to survive, here's what I make in my current day job. And then it's like, okay, what number must I hit to actually feel good leaving my day job and going full-time to content creator? I would not focus on the streaming part here, because you want to, the streaming as a whole, I've learned in the past 2.5, 3 years, streaming should not be the goal, in my opinion. This is my worldview. I enjoy streaming. I enjoy it very much on a personal level, but from a business perspective, streaming should be an add-on to something else you do. So Izzy, my answer is basically, how much money do you need to survive off your creator, business, and then do that. But you should be looking from the get-go to do something other than just stream, because streaming alone is not very powerful. I'd say it's good if you're doing something else existing that's interesting. One person I always cite as an example is Bail Buddy. Probably everyone in chat, if I say Bail Buddy, everyone probably knows the fuck that is, right? Do you know he streams on Twitch? Do you know he draws his comics on Twitch? Yes, he does. But he's not a streamer. I wouldn't call him one. Pretty sure it's Bail Buddy, or is it Ball? One of two. He streams on Twitch. He's not a streamer though, right? I wouldn't call him a streamer. He's a dude that he's an artist first, that also on the side of his business streams. It's Bald. That's probably the reason he's Bale. Anyway, that doesn't matter. Point is, you should focus on getting some business to its level of like being comfy. And then if you want to stream as a side gig with everything else you do, consider it then. Let's see, I had everything else. I have one question, I have two questions left. Corey asked me, what are your future hopes and plans for/with Joshiko Pro? And this is a great question. It's a great question. My favorite cheese. Hold on a second. Also, actually, the answer to that is probably Swiss. Anyway, so she asked, what are my future hopes and plans with Joshiko Production? So, I have a lot of grand plans and scope overall. There are a lot of things I want to do with my ASMR work. I want to expand beyond that. The general business plan, I did not say Rocky's 8 Showcase. This is not a good time for a question like that. I have a very big scope planned, and I think that Joshiko working alongside me can take a lot of the back-end work off and the figuring things out work off of me. For example, if I want to get something produced, if I want to have a Fumo produced, I don't need to figure it out anymore. I can go to Joshiko and say, yo, figure out how I'm going to get a Fumo produced. Great, thanks. Go do the thing for me. And then I'll focus on making ASMR work or writing on my, writing for my setting or what I want, because there's things I want to do there's a lot of little things I want to do, but there's like grand scope stuff. So while I focus on the big picture on my end, the little nitty gritty things like, hey, I need merch stuff handled. There you go. Thank you. They're going to do that for me. They're going to take care of that back end and also connect me with other creators. And one thing I want to do, for example, long term is I want to put out a source, like a setting book for my world. I'll make a setting book. Well, I can focus on writing the book while Joshiko figures out how to get the book produced, how to get it printed, how to get it distributed, how do I market it. They figure all of that out. and all I have to do is figure out what the fuck I'm putting in it. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. It's an excellent deal in that regard. I'm very much looking forward to this. And of course, I have things looking forward to are working with my wonderful friends, with Margot and with Cubalt. I'm very, very excited for that. But yeah, they're going to help me with a lot of like the back end stuff, the nitty gritty that I don't want to put the mental energy into figuring out, because it's not easy. It's hard. Somebody else can do that. All I have to do is create, and they can make the creative stuff exist in physical in some way. I've also talked about this before. This is like a little away from that general business thing, but my general business structure and goal is something akin to like, who here is familiar with Fate Stay Night? Do we have any Type Moon fans in chat? I know we have Type Moon fans in chat. I have been a Type Moon fan since Mirror Moon was translating Tsukihime. All right. Type Moon, for those who know the background, they started out making not safe for work stuff. They put lewd content in Tsukihime and in Fate Stay Night, not because they wanted to be a lump safe work producer, but because it got the ball rolling. It got the ball rolling on everything else. And they still, of course, have, the quite clearly very horny content and designs, but it got the ball rolling to build everything else they do. So, is that become basically the same sort of thing? Exactly, Dragon Blue. The world has popped into existence, that's bad. Yes, it's not very good. It's not very good, but it is what it is. It worked. So that's my general personal game plan, is to start. Plus, I just like not safe for work things. My little goals are a little different there. I actually generally want to make not safe for work things, but I also want to take that base and produce a setting book. I want to do some tabletop stuff. I want to make gaming stuff. I want to do so much other stuff with it than just, the lewd content. But the ASMR is a nice basis to build that up. The other question, the last question, my pre-prep questions, is from Brutus in Discord. And this question, I laughed to myself when I read it. And I said, Brutus, you're silly. But then I was like, no, it's actually a perfect question. Brutus asked me in Discord, why are you so weird? And this could not be a more perfect question to talk a bit about who I am. Why am I so weird? Brutus, if you're here, I'm going to explain to you why I'm so weird. I am in my mid-30s. I grew up with a keyboard and mouse in my hands. My parents were both Navy. They're both big in electronics. I had a PC from basically the day I was born. We had the NES in the house, the Game Boy. We had PC, like I said, with Color Tandy, all that stuff. We had the 486. We had Windows 3.1 and Windows 95, 98 ME, all that stuff. I grew up being, you know how we joke these days and say, oh, the kids are terminally online? Bitch, I was terminally online. I was terminally online from the day I was born. So I grew up with the internet like that. But things were different back then. Things were different in the 90s. These things, in the 90s, the nerd culture, all this stuff with the video games, the computer, all the internet stuff, this was all like not acceptable. That was stuff that got you bullied. It was not cool. Nowadays, it's kind of cool. Nowadays, being a nerd is in. It's in vogue. Back then. So, being in that environment, growing up like that, with all the internet stuff and being a nerd, it sucked. So I got the fuck out of reality and spent my entire life online. Exactly, Safarius. I spent my entire life online, basically. I was terminally online. All my friends are in my pewter, basically. Hell yeah, this is where I was in AWOL online chat rooms, telling people were like, yo, ASL? I'm like, yeah, 18F Cali, baby. I was like 13 years old, telling adults I was 18 or 19. It was fantastic. I got into so much shit. But yeah, that's why I'm weird. I was looking at stuff I shouldn't have looked at when I was 10 years old. Boy, did I find some stuff on the internet back in the day, with Japanese web rings. Oh man, there's so much stuff. And life was so different. I can't express to somebody who's not like in their 30s, there's no way to quantify for a Zoomer how different the internet was 20 years ago. I was raised, not as my parents, but I was raised by albino black sheep and Newgrounds and Something Awful and 4chan and And I never remember the days we'd like go like troll like Habbo Hotel and stuff and be like, yeah, all the people here from ebombsworld.com, go get mad at them. It was so different. It was so different. It's so different. Yeah, Pools Club, like that was my childhood. That's how I grew up. So that's why I'm weird. That's why I'm That's why I'm weird. That's why I'm weird. Oh, Safari's old 4chan was so different. Exactly. Those E-bombs guys were such a menace, man. Man, those bunch of trolls. Those that got some face punch. I can't believe they do that. How could you be like that? This isn't a pool, it's a bathtub. Putting milk in your eye won't fix it now. Ah, exactly. That's how I grew up. That's the internet I grew up on. So that's why I'm weird. That's why I'm weird. This is my ancient history, right? It's my ancient history. So that is it for the pre-prepped questions, which means I can finally get rid of the notepad. I don't have to work with the notepad anymore. I can take the chat with me. Exactly. Who isn't loud? Being normal is boring. 3D printed saving how you show them a floppy disk base. God, I'm gonna do stream someday. Yo, thank you for the gift subs, Gala. Thank you. Thank you so much. I know all those names too. Yo, Sigmund got a gift sub. Let's fucking go. God, the modem sound. My first online game experience was playing Warcraft 2 with my dad's coworker over direct IP connection on our 9600 baud modem, and never finishing a game because it would always disconnect. That was my very first online experience. Okay, I will answer Pentecosters real quick, because I'm done with the other thing. Yeah, before we had BattleNet. General question: what prompted the model change? Just felt like it was during the time acquired it. Okay, great question. Is that Mom got the phone online? So, I changed model for a lot of reasons. The biggest one though is it's my third model. For those who don't know me, it's my third model. I was Olivia the vampire. Then was Sasha the Archdemon. Sasha's still relevant, but not for VTubing. She runs the ASMR channel basically, and now I'm Hiyori the Oni. Going through the past 2.5 years of VTubing was a big journey of self-discovery. I have learned more about myself in the past like 2.5, 3 years than I have in like the past 10. And I started out with my first model. I was like picking something. Oh, I'm gonna do this very serious. I'm gonna pick something that's oh, what's marketable? That's how I picked my first thing. I went through all my OCs and said, oh yeah, vampire's marketable. Fucking send it. But there was no love there. So I booted that character. And I said to myself, okay, forget the whole marketable character. What is a character, an OC of mine that I love that I would like to roleplay as a character on stream? So I picked Sasha out. Actually, this character was the backup one. This character was second. So I picked Sasha, and then I realized I don't necessarily want to roleplay a character on stream. I like lore. I like a bit of kayfabe and veneer, but I don't want to spend my streams roleplaying a character. I want to have the character be more representative of me and my taste. So moving to Hiyori was more of a rebrand into representing the things that raised me, the tastes I have, the things that made me more of myself. A lot of the big fucking weeb. So that's a much bigger that's the biggest reason is I want to just be more representative of me. Exactly, more personal character. The chuny, edgy self-insert kind of thing, right? Rather than trying to sell something or have a marketable character. I want to be more myself. All right, so, let's see, Testament person. Well, thank you, Ron. Thank you. Thank you, Sunspot. Yes, I found exactly more like me. I'm obviously not a the big Oni MILF in her life, but the design of the character's more representative of me. Let me answer Dragon Blue's question. We can come back to Jordan's question in a bit. Gaming aspect effective from how you portray yourself, your characteristic model design. It feels intentional to make it more relatable to the audience. Probably do gaming content. The last part of that, I didn't do anything to make it more relatable to the audience. I did make it more relatable to me. I was very selfish with this design. I still care about. Yes, I do care weapons around our life, exactly. I I pander to myself. I do not pander to anyone else with the model. I still like care to degree of how it looks in general presentation. Like I want some quality, right? Because I hold myself to high standards. But I purely pandered to myself with this. I purely pandered. But yes, gaming absolutely has affected me in many ways, and in good ways, I'd say. A lot of design, like, you know, I grew up playing a lot of JRPGs. I grew up, you know, there's so much stuff, like, I consumed, like, a lot of anime growing up, anime games, stuff like that. Absolutely affected me in every possible way. All right, let's see. Hi, hey, my model's breaking again. My tracking breaks sometimes. I have a reflective surface over here, so it happens sometimes. Brock asking, plans for more safe work ASMR, focus more on not safe work. Exactly, parent to us. Parent to you, no parent to us. So, yes and no. I'm going to bring back the VR ASMR, which is going to start off being safe for work as I work on ways to implement not safe for work. But ultimately, with my ASMR, I do want to be a not safe for work creator. All right, so I have been writing. I've been writing for over 20 years. I was writing fanfic. I was writing lewd fanfic back when I was a teenager. All right. I have always wanted to make not safe for work content. I've always wanted to. I used to write fapfic. I've been doing this for over 20 years. I stopped for a while. I stopped writing for a while, but I didn't I lost the spark for a bit, but yeah, so I'm gonna keep making not safe for work. And also, honestly, it's not that. I feel it's easier if I'm already in there, just to make the not safe work anyway. If I'm going through the whole process of making a script, it's not that much more of a leap to say, okay, here's safe work. Well, we can fit a not safe work section in the middle. Exactly. I wrote my immortal. It's fanfic. Anyways, it's your lemon Rema. Yeah. All right. Next question. Did you do a purge? Huh? You could go digging deep and maybe find something, but you'd have to try really hard. To Inuyasha, any day of the week, Inuyasha, 100%, 1000% Inuyasha. I'm right there. Shout out to Pride 2. I will say this design is not influenced by Inuyasha. I know some people thought that in the past because the big fur collar. It's not. I said fapfic as well. Christ the kitty. Anyway, Oodleshik asks, your YouTube channel mentions being ad-free. Get revenue from YouTube Premium watchers. Yes, it does help. In fact, that is the majority of how I make revenue on YouTube. I don't make much ad revenue on YouTube. Most of what I make from YouTube, again, with transparency, it's very. I know other people here that want to be creators too, so I do want to. Yes, exactly back at that age. I want to talk about this too because I like. There are many other people here that want to be creators that want to do YouTube stuff. YouTube ad revenue is insane, but because I make ASMR work, the only ads on my channel, so it's a kind of white lie to say it's ad free. There are no video ads on my channel. There's only like the little side ads that are silent and the bottom ads. I get most of it from premium revenue because premium revenue is actually insane. And for all the, yes, Cookie Man, 100%. I'm planning it. I'm gonna finish the Kitsune Village first because I'm finishing up an old series. Yeah, premium views are worth like a ton. Premium is actually, I have so many criticisms I could have of YouTube and Google. YouTube Premium is not one. Premium is actually like one of the best things they've done. It's way better than Twitch Prime. Basically how Premium works, if you don't know, on YouTube, is of your sub, we don't know exact number, it's estimated around $7 of your $12 sub. When you watch somebody with Premium, you don't see ads, but your premium sub, most of it, is bucketed out to creators based on how much of them you watch. So if you watch Markiplier for 5 hours and watch me for 5 hours, we each give out $350 of your premium revenue for that month. It's really cool. It's fantastic. So yes, I get a lot from, not a lot from premium, but that's where I get most of my monthly revenue. And I don't make much off YouTube ads. It's most of like conversion to Patreon and other platforms. Premium is cool though. I have premium myself. I do have another question. Do I have one from... I got Cookie Man's already, so we can leave that out of the list. Let's see. Let me do I'll do this one from Skip Source. Did you ever get a degree or at least go to college at all? Kind of wonder, is standard to go to college? Okay, I love this question. I don't know where I left my water at. I'm gonna walk into the camera real quick to get my water, because I am thirsty. Sorry for that. There we go. I need water. Ah. Put my water back. There we go. I love this question. I'm happy to talk about this, actually. I am a high school dropout. I have a GED. I dropped out of high school when I was 16. I love to jokingly tell people that I dropped out of high school because I played World of Warcraft too much. It's not true, but it's easier to explain it that way. I'm a high school dropout. I went to college for 1.5 years. I went to college originally. My first plan was I wanted to be an EMT. I want to be an EMT. And I got into classes and I started talking to other people who were coming out EMTs who were further along and had friends. And I started finding out about them scraping people off the pavement and stuff. I'm like, man, I can't. And I dropped that. No, emergency medical person, like the paramedic kind of thing. I was like, I cannot deal with that. No, I can't deal with this. I don't have the fortitude for this. So then I was going to go do IT. And that I didn't want to do either. I did that because my parents were like, yo, you got to get in a STEM field. You can't do this creator stuff. It's not going to work. Yeah, I go to STEM field. It's something like that. So dad was like, you're good at computers. Go do IT. I'm like, okay. But then I stopped that because I had to start taking care of family members. I had to take care of a very sick family member for like 4 or 5 years. And in that meantime, I wrote a lot during that time also. I don't want to do IT because I don't want to make myself hate computers. So, EMT's not easy. I have so much. Yeah, pay structure's bad too. I have so much respect for our emergent first responders. Boots. There are reasons, Boots, that I have nothing but the most immense respect for you in this community. Boots is a firefighter in the UK. I have nothing but respect for him. Godspeed and God bless. Thank you for your service. Yes, it's Elena paid, yeah. Who's your favorite mod? Oh man. My favorite moderator? Stream Elements. Stream Elements, as long as they're in chat, they always do exactly what they're asked on. Whoa. My headset is freezing. Everything's. Okay, you can hear me again, right? You can at least hear me. I am going to reboot VR chat. I have been in Steam VR for 1,800 hours. I've never had Steam VR crash like this. It just full on said Steam VR had an unexpected error and crashed. So I am putting everything else back up. The good news is while I fix this, I can go ahead and keep answering questions. Not how expected to, but I can do so. I'm booting everything back up. Can't hear you. I know you can hear me. I also can't see chat, but I'm taking my headset off for that. So I'm going to launch VR chat again and get this back up and running. So let's see. Firefighter, volunteer, magic volunteers, firefighter. Exactly. Yeah. Jordan Mallory asks, also, can you guys hear me all right? I have the headset up off my head a little bit. It's tilted up slightly while I get this back together. I'm loading VR chat. Jordan Mallory asks, for those that are new, how separate do you keep your... Hold on a second. VR chat overtook everything. How separate do you like to keep your art team work from Twitch side of things? Do you have any specific ground rules or hard do's, don'ts? So I don't run my Twitch as like a coom-tuber. I make not safe for content, but I see myself as an artist first and foremost. I have more in common with like in my opinion anyway, this is my mindset, I have more in common with like a Japanese hentai doujinshi artist than like Project Melody. I am probably have the game going. I am getting the world set up again. Then I'm gonna turn the screen back on as soon as I get a camera going. So give me 1 second. I'm slowly working through it. I still can't see a chat, but we're getting there. Yes, so I'm teaching you a lot of new things. Reset VR chat problems we use continuously. Cookie Man, I've had days where I've been in VR chat like 4+ hours, or even like 6 or 7. Never had an issue. I've never had this issue in 1,800 hours of Steam using Steam VR. I'm currently calibrating everything as fast as I can and opening cameras back up and things and getting it squared away. Thankfully, I've been through this process like 10 times, so I know what I'm doing. Behavior, Also, I vaguely know how the camera's positioned before, so we're getting it back up. And as soon as I lock this camera and click this button, you should see me pop back in the screen. VR chat, Doko. There we go. I'm alive again. Okay. Thanks, VR chat. It wouldn't be a stream like this without some stuff, right? Let's go ahead and get my window back open. There's my window, which is locked. That's fine. Let me go ahead and unlock this window. My edit mode. Oh, it's not locked. Okay, I need to get closer. That's fine. Yes, absolutely fantastic. I think I missed some questions. I can't scroll the list back up. I think I can't scroll this back up. So if there's any other questions, I think I basically got that one covered. A lot of content built up already. As soon as I enjoy more work, where should I start? Honestly, just start with like this stuff on YouTube. I have a big bulk of AS work on YouTube. The newer stuff's... Hi, Gala, how are you? The newer stuff isn't... Oh, it's not moving? Oh, I know why. Hold on a second. Because I'm muted in game. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Rowan. I have a lot of backlog. I would just start with the YouTube stuff. The newer stuff's better. Like, if you go listen to the Kitsune Village audio series, you'll see a big change in quality because I have Kitsune Village for 4 parts of it, and the first part of it was very old. You're gonna start with that. That's probably pretty easy. I also have a Newgrounds account where I'm posting. I'm moving a cable around. Cable, please. I also have a Newgrounds account. I was in my head. I have a Newgrounds account where I post some of my older content, that kind of stuff for free. Slowly rolling that back out. I think I got it covered. Do I have any other questions that I miss? Any questions I miss? You have portrayed so many characters over the past years. What makes the element of script your knowledge of the world you care for them? Kind of both, because a lot of my characters have changed. A lot of my original vision for characters have changed over time. As I've developed the world more, developed the characters more, it's shifted. I'm gonna actually go in here and grab the camera and move it real fast. I wanna move it like, it's not where I had it, so I'm gonna push like here. I'm gonna grab this chat window, move it down, then relock it. There we go, that's better. My characters have changed so much over the years. I have a lot of characters that's like, Also, I need to actually reposition the camera like this. There we go. Boom. Kind of both, Ogar. Play continue One Piece, yes, eventually. Gazini 3, thank you, Noct. You guys always see me in 3D. You always see me in 3D. It's Taran. No, you didn't see it earlier. So a lot of the characters have changed as I've developed the world. I would have visual vision of the character, and then I was like, well, where do I put this character in the world? What do they do? Well, so I have changed their roles and such, and 2.5D. I guess I've changed their roles and such. And it's kind of both. It's kind of both in the middle. Plans to have the other Joshiko members in your future. Yes, absolutely. 100% we'll be collabing with them. We'll absolutely be doing that. Absolutely. I'm very much looking forward to doing so. I'd like to do ASMR class with them too, of course. I want to just spend more time with them in general. Let's give a peace sign. I mean, I can give you the... It's not kind of peace sign. Do I have any others also? A couple of questions I want to ask you. Talking shop funny question. Funny question's probably faster, so do funny question first and you talking shop afterwards. Ever played D&D? Yes, in fact, Cookie Man. Another very formative thing for me that got me here to who I am today was D&D. I have my wonderful D&D 2nd edition books laying around the house. Well, they're actually right over there, but I've exactly. Actually, maybe prior to that in a not safe work channel, but yes, I played a lot of D&D. 2nd edition, 3rd edition, 3.5, 4th, which I secretly love 4th edition, 5th, which I think 5th edition is dog shit. I played a lot of D&D. I'm going to do more tabletops in the future too. Let's see. Weirdest fictional character you'd be down with / had a crush on. This is a hard. I actually don't know if I can answer this on the spot. I'd have to really think. I don't know if I can answer that right now. Bring any earlier era game you really enjoyed for a new generation of gaming people would play with. Would that be? That's a hard one because they're actually doing some of those. Does it have to be NES or earlier? Because they're actually I would have said Super Mario RPG, but they're literally doing Super Mario RPG, so I don't need to worry about that. Taco's the finest. Fuck Taco. That's a hard question to answer, Connexus. Man. Are there any NES games that I see from Kim Possible? No, Super Mario RPG. They're actually remaking it, so. Do you ever envision a person that you're interacting with? Yes, I do. Which is actually both good and bad in some ways. I'll come back to your question, Connexus, because I don't know if I can answer that off the top of my head for an NES game. 2 let me answer this question real quick, and we can roll over to Margot, I guess. Thank you, girl. So I create in my own ways while I'm writing a story. I try to leave some open space for the listener to self-insert, but I'm also writing things within a certain intent of other person being interacted with that talks that will answer in such a certain way, which is bad. It makes it easier to write, but in some ways it's kind of bad because for some people it makes it harder to self-insert, and ultimately the ASMR is designed in a way that's meant to be self-inserted into. You're meant to, as a listener, it's meant to be a story I'm telling also, but you're meant to actually put yourself in the position of the person in it. But I also do have lore reasons for that, for the whole Sasha's Castle thing, as to why that's kind of foisted on the listener. I have a whole lore. I have actually a video, audio I made but I haven't released that kind of explains the entire Sasha's Castle structure and why everything functions the way it does. Also, a great excuse for why all the characters have roughly the same voice. Excellent lore excuse. It's basically that all the stories are written by Sasha and narrated, and it's more like her voice narrating it. But exactly, the Sasha's Castle cinematic universe. Thank you, Egan. Yes, if you're interested in artists, they're all underneath the stream at the bottom. Who's your oldest fan who's stuck around even to now? Oh, man. There is a person. I think about them a lot, but they almost never type in chat. There's a person. I'm not going to name them because they're a lurker, right? They're a lurker, so I'm not going to name them. You leave your lurkers alone. There's a person who is one of my, I think he's my first or second subscriber. To my knowledge, he has never unsubscribed. He's talked once or twice in chat. Ever. The only time I've seen him talk in chat since is I ran a community event where he played Goose Goose Duck and he talked in game. I think about him a lot. I'm not gonna name him. Because lurkers. Respect your lurkers, streamers. Please respect your lurkers. But I think about him a lot. Yes, I think about him a lot. He's quiet. The hardest, the most difficult people. 7. The most difficult people to create for are the ones that don't respond. They walk silently because you don't know what they're thinking. Anyway, yes, it is 7, and I was supposed to be here for an hour, and I don't want to run long because we have Margot to visit. If you have more questions, drop them in Discord. I can do, when it happens at 7, I turn to a pumpkin, unfortunately. Drop them in Discord. I will do my best to answer them in Discord or on stream in the future, all right? But we have plans for tonight. This is a multi-step debut series, so I'm going to go be rating Margot. So let me go ahead and get my keyboard, and let's type this out on here. It's probably faster if I walk into the camera and type out this, but it's gonna raid. And hope I spell this right. Aki, Aji, Margot. Did I get it? Did I spell it right? I did. We're raiding Margot, another member of Joshiko and a wonderful friend of mine. She is doing her debut stream next, so we're gonna drop you guys off at hers. So I will be around in Discord if you want to ask me more questions. Thank you all for coming out. You're all wonderful. I hope you were able to get sufficient, a decent understanding of who I am as a person. There's always more time. There's also my ASMR videos and other things I posted. So, yes, Mount's better than you. Yes, thank you to the moderators and the staff of Joshiko and everybody else for coming. Thank you. I'm pushing the button to raid Margot, and hope that this worked. Yes, that is definitely her profile picture. Thank you all for coming out. Thank you for all coming out. I hope you had a good time. I'll be back on stream tomorrow doing some Gunpla, right? I'll be doing some Gunpla. So if you like big funny robots, come on by. I'm gonna send you over to Margot right now. So I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your night. Yes, Oni raid. I love the clown emoji. Thank you. I'll see y'all later, right? Have a wonderful rest of your night. Alright? Bye. Push the button. Go. I'm aiming at the thing. Raid.